Hi everyone, I hope you're all keeping well. So I hope you all had a nice Valentine's Day, those of you that celebrate it. My husband and I didn't really do a lot for Valentine's Day because we just don't, we're married, it's our 5th wedding anniversary coming up soon, and we've got both our birthdays and our wedding anniversary in such a small space. We don't need to be adding Valentine's Day to the mix. So I got a bunch of flowers, which is pretty good because he is pretty good, I'll be honest. He gets me bunches of flowers every so often anyway, and then we just did cards. But I think we both agreed that we're not doing cards going forward because it's just a waste of money. It's always nice, don't get me wrong, I still think it's lovely and it's sweet, but because, I don't know, your priorities just change a little bit when you get married, and we've got so many other things that we could be spending money on. So that's my to Valentine's Day going forward. So anyway, the dogs, those of you that care about the dogs, they had a lovely time down the beach. We went to Ferrin, which, as most of you know, is my favourite place to go for a walk. All you can hear is the ocean when the tide's out, so no noise pollution apart from one of the small aircrafts that people have, you know, like the little 2-seaters and stuff, and it's such a calming zen place. It's really good, and it's my favourite place to go if I want to clear my head. So let's get on to the royals. Now I'm going to backdate this slightly a little bit, and we're going to talk about Catherine and William when they went to Cornwall. They actually visited the National Maritime Museum, and they were there as the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall. When the headline first initially flagged up, I was like, oh, Camilla, because my brain is so used to the Duchess of Cornwall, it's Camilla, but she's now obviously the Queen. So what happened when our previous Queen died, when Queen Elizabeth passed? Obviously Charles went from Prince Charles to King Charles, and then Prince William became the heir apparent, and he inherited the Duchy of Cornwall and became the Prince of Wales. So Catherine and William, as well as being the Prince and Princess of Wales, they are also the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Cornwall, or Cornwall and Cambridge. Either way, so it's quite the mouthful. I'll be sticking to just Catherine and William a lot in the videos because it's a lot easier and I won't be getting my tongue tied as much. So whilst they were down there, they did their usual where they take the time. Now this is something that I do really love with Catherine and William when they meet people in the crowds. They take the time to converse. They're not a quick shake hands, move on to the next one. They really do. I'd imagine they probably get moved along quite a lot by their security team, you know, come on, keep walking. Now, Catherine, as we know, she has an amazing ability, which is called baby radar. I honestly think that you could put her in a 10,000 strong crowd and she will find one. So obviously Catherine was mucking around and playing, and even William found himself drawn to this particular little cutie pie that was busy poking him in the nose. Gotta love kids. At least it was his nose and not his eye. Now there was another young lady also who got so excited she did possibly one of the best selfies that you could ever get with the Princess of Wales. Now that is one to be hanging on the wall, isn't it? When, you know, you and the Queen of England one day, there's you like, oh, yes. I love the way that Catherine and William do stop and pose for selfies. Obviously, selfies are not always the most flattering, but this one, I just can't. I'd love to see what it looks like on the other side of the camera. I just think that was possibly one of the best pictures, and she's my spirit animal. I would be that excited if I met the Prince or Princess of Wales for sure. Now, in another lovely moment, which was captured by Chris Jackson and also like the film crews that were there, Catherine met up with one of the volunteers from the Maritime Museum, and it just happened to be her old history teacher at St Andrews. They chatted for a bit and they hugged. You can see here from the photographs, it was just, she just genuinely was so happy to see him. She said that, you know, that she teaches her children the things that he taught her, and I've got a little video clip of how happy he was afterwards.
Oh, isn't she wonderful? She was just so wonderful. We could have talked for another half hour, I'm sure, and she would like to.
How wonderful is that? Now that's the other thing as well. Can you imagine? She's going to be the Queen one day, and he taught the Queen, the future Queen of England, and it would be that if he's someone's like granddad or great granddad, you'd be going, yeah, granddad, sure you did. Sure you taught the Queen of England. No, I did. I definitely did. And yeah, you can just see there was a genuine affection and warmth with Catherine and obviously her teacher, and it was just really, really sweet moment. Now, after the royal couple had gone into the museum, they had a game of boat racing with some school students, which naturally William and Catherine were competitive at.
That was the best day ever.
They had a go at building a boat.
If she sings up here, we would never hear her. You never saw us.
If you didn't quite hear what William said there, he said basically, if the boat sinks, it's not from this area that we worked on. I've got a recommendation for that boat. I think that if Harry does have the cheek to come over for the coronation, they should put him in that and send him back to America. A few extra holes in there. Obviously, that is a joke. I don't mean genuine harm to happen to Harry. This is not the sort of channel where you should take everything too seriously. This is light-hearted entertainment. Now, speaking of which, Catherine and William also went to the Duchess Centre, a community centre, and had a go at ping pong. Catherine, I think she might have been aiming for William's face at one point. The couple that play together stay together, get your minds out of the gutter. But Catherine and William, whenever they are being pitted against each other, are so competitive, but they're really funny to watch. I can only imagine the stuff that they get up to with their children and just playing games all the time. Catherine and William, whether they're racing each other, playing golf, they are just always laughing and smiling and give each other a cheeky wink. You've just got that flash in their eyes where you know they know that they're playing for fun, but they also mean it at the same time. During their pit stop to Cornwall, Catherine also spent some time with a mother's group, and you can just imagine she was incredibly happy to be here, and she even gave the hokey cokey a go. The kids were absolutely loving it. As I've said so many times before, and this is why I'm a massive fan of the Princess of Wales, she just gets stuck into any event. She just looks natural. One minute she's wearing a tiara and an incredible ball gown. She's meeting other members of royal families and dignitaries from all around the world, presidents of America. And then the next she's, you know, rock climbing, or she's planting a tree, or she's doing the okey cokey. You know, she just absolutely embraces every single engagement, and she always looks lovely. Now, moving on to the other couple, well, let's just say that they have achieved worldwide fame again. I mean, obviously they're already famous or infamous, whichever way you wish to look at it, but this time they are being discussed from Australia to America on news outlets all around the world, but it's not in the way that I think that they were possibly happy with. I can imagine there are plates smashing all around Montecito and lots of screaming. Meghan is no doubt on the phone trying to get a certain animated TV show cancelled. What am I talking about? I am, of course, talking about South Park. Now, South Park, on its 26th season of people trying to cancel it for years, they have dedicated an entire episode to Harry and Meghan. Well, they have said that the two characters are purely fictional, but as you can see here from the photographs, we have a dumb ginger prince and a wife that looks remarkably like Meghan Markle. From the clips that I've seen and the jokes that have been told on social media, there are jokes that his wife is completely vapid and empty inside and is obsessed with just being on TV and magazine covers whilst marching around demanding their privacy. There was a clip that I saw, I can't share with you clips because of copyright, but there was also a clip where Kyle, one of the main characters, was complaining that the prince was playing polo on the front lawn. They were setting off fireworks, upsetting the neighbours, and had their private jet parked outside. There are so many things in this, as you can see from the photographs. I am definitely going to be watching this. So I will be watching that tonight when it airs at 10 p.m. on Sky Comedy Channel. I believe it aired in America last night, so we're just that little bit one night behind. I couldn't find it anyway. I've been trying to find it on catch up. So it will be tonight, and I will do a little review on it tomorrow because everyone's talking about it. So I've just got to see this with my own eyes. And like the books that I read and the other programs that I watch this stuff so you guys don't have to. Now, speaking of fame and notoriety, it seems that someone was listening to one of my videos where I'd said about putting up a historical plaque on the place that Harry lost his virginity. A news story has come out where they have said that the couple that owned the field, that bought it off the pub, they are thinking of putting a blue plaque down themselves and putting in a gift shop. I think they mean it tongue-in-cheek, but why not? I mean, Harry and Meghan have made such a spectacle out of themselves. I'm finding this absolutely hysterical. It's just another thing that has backfired on Harry, and there's no sympathy for him whatsoever. Now, in some other good news, Jeremy Clarkson, as it turns out, he has definitely not been cancelled by Harry and Meghan's fan base, and no doubt Meghan put in a few phone calls herself like she did with Piers Morgan. It seems that Meghan doesn't have quite the same clout that she once had. Jeremy Clarkson's Diddley Squat Farm is actually being renewed for a season 3. I don't know if it will air on Amazon though, because that's been a little bit mixed up in the newspapers. They said that Amazon were cancelling it, so he might go to another TV network, but it's really good. This show is so popular that it's actually going ahead for a 3rd season, so he's definitely onto a spinner there, and it's just nice to see that he's not being cancelled. I've had it with the cancel culture. It's so absolutely ridiculous. If you don't like something, you don't like someone, it means you don't have to watch it. Don't ruin it for everyone else. Now, it's been reported that Harry has said that he's incredibly happy with the book, that he's incredibly happy and he has absolutely no regrets whatsoever, and is relieved to have got his story out to the world, and there's been an amazing reaction to it. Oh, there's been a reaction, all right, but I'm beginning to think maybe people are right, maybe he is a little bit dumb, maybe people are giving him false headlines, I don't know. The only thing I know about that book, and I believe the South Park episode is going to confirm, it's made him a worldwide laughingstock. I mean, even this morning, I was getting my nails done at the beauty salon, and 2 of the beauticians in there, I know for a fact, massive Harry and Meghan fans. Well, they were so busy telling me that they were absolutely shocked about the book. One of them listened to it on Audible, one of them actually read the book, and they were just pulling out bits, and I'm like, girl, tell me about it. I know about this. Have you seen my channel? Everything that they were coming out with, I was like, I know, absolutely. So this book is further proof that it's turned more and more people off of them, and they are literally becoming a laughingstock. Well, they've already been a laughingstock for so long. When do you get secondhand embarrassment? I personally think that they deserve it. I like laughing at them. I personally think it's a better way to irritate them for a start, because narcissists hate being laughed at. But secondly, don't take them seriously. They are a laughing stock. Everyone getting upset that they're going to take down the monarchy, they're going to do this. They're not. No one's taking them seriously. America isn't taking them seriously. When you have got TV hosts live at the Grammys completely ripping Prince Harry, it's a sign that their worldwide domination, their seriousness, their brand that they pushed, it's over. It's absolutely over. They have not brought anything to the table apart from narcissistic pity party. All they ever do is talk about themselves. They've set up this foundation to talk to the world about how wonderful and all the amazing things they do, yet the only time that anyone gets a microphone in their hand or a pen in front of them, all they do is talk about the royal family, and the world can see through it. Which is good, because I do feel that there are certain Americans now that are saying, oh, actually, the Brits aren't that bad. They actually had a fair point. Yes, we had them here longer than you guys, but I'm so glad that the world is finally catching up. Now, speaking of their foundation, it's been brought into the news again. And this is where I say about the public service, the title of this video. They are doing something good. They are finally doing the public a service, which I totally support. And that is, they are shining a light on how dodgy foundations really are. So first of all, we had their little snippet that came out to do with their accounts, where they basically took credit for what every other charity and company was doing. And they were saying, we did this, we did that, to the point that even Global Citizen came back and said, no, we collectively, not you, called them out on it. So they had the 13 million supposedly, and they only handed out 3 million since they've been started. So everyone was like, okay, so where is this 10 million? What have you done with the 10 million? Why are you not giving out? If you've made 13 million in donations and you've raised 13 million, surely philanthropy, you should be giving that out. Well, the £10 million figure has cropped up again, and that is because there has been one donor, reportedly, that gave 10 million to the Archwell Foundation. Now, this has raised a lot of suspicions. The donation came through a Silicon Valley Community Foundation, an SVCF, and it's how mega rich people give out anonymous tax-free grants The gift automatically qualifies for a tax deduction. Now, bearing in mind the news came out in 2020, Archewell made less than 50,000. Okay, fine, fair enough, but that 50,000, just because they were shy of it, meant that they didn't have to give the IRS a full breakdown of where their money's gone. So isn't that convenient that they just managed to be under that first 50,000? Now, this one generous donor also suspiciously happens to have allowed this donation to be listed as general support. Normally, when a donor gives a huge sum to a foundation to go to charitable causes, they will specify areas like education, youth development, they'll be more specific of the areas that they want the money to be split to. Well, this one put it to general support, which means it can be used on salaries, expenses, private jets, someone's wardrobe. Yeah, so you see where people are saying, this just sounds like a little bit more of a tax dodge. Now, I remember this from the very beginning, and I'm just going to refresh some of your brains, or some of you that are joining for the first time. And that is, Harry used to be part of the Royal Foundation with Catherine and William. And then it got split when Meghan joined, because basically, the relationship soured between the brothers. So anything that was earned in donations towards the joint Royal Foundation, when it was all four of them, the donations got split that had come in that time frame. So Sussex Royal took some of the donations. It got split out. So then when Harry and Meghan quit, and then they demanded that they can keep the word royal, and all the argument and fallout happened from Sandringham and Megxit, they were told that they can't keep their foundation Sussex Royal. They can't do that. It's not allowed. So then they had to change the company name. They changed it to MWX Foundation, which is the Markle Windsor, I don't know what the X stands for, Foundation. Now, this is where it gets really dodgy, okay? So they wrapped up MWX because they had set up Archewell. Now, where did the funds from MWX get transferred to? Their final amount of money. Bearing in mind, it was donations left over from the Joint Royal Fund, Sussex Royal, then it changed the name into MWX. Well, they apparently got transferred to Harry's Travelist. Now, Travelist, I then believe, has possibly moved this £10 million. This is all my suspicions and speculations. I've got no proof of this. But they have then moved that money across. So Harry and Meghan have built their Archewell Foundation on donations that went to the Royal Foundation. And, that's the whole thing with Delaware, that they only had to donate, I think it's something ridiculous, like 5% of donations. And people are picking up on it. So this, as I said, this is where it is a public service, because it's showing people firsthand. You've watched two conniving people that have done a cash grab from worthy and decent causes, used it to set themselves up a business in America, and then obtained more money to go to worthwhile causes and are spending it on themselves. So Harry and Meghan wanted the world spotlight. They wanted a world stage where people were watching them. Well, they are watching them. The problem is for them, however, is they are watching every move that the couple do. And this is where having a little bit of discretion comes in. We only normally hear about foundations when a scam gets uncovered, whereas Harry and Meghan have been, it looks like to me, one big scam since they left the royal family. So I hope people do watch what's happened here and see how easily it can be done and go, if you want your money to go to worthwhile charitable causes, donate directly. Donate, find a way to get it to the actual cat sanctuary or maybe a particular hospital. Actually try and go as direct as you can, because if you cut out the middleman, you'll find that more of your money, worthwhile money, actually gets to the causes that you care about. And less of the money gets obviously then spent on people's wardrobes and private jets and great big Range Rovers and securities and 16 bathroom mega mansions. It's absolutely insane that anyone can still be donating to foundations like Archewell and think, oh yeah, that's great, so much of my money will go towards charitable causes. Put the money straight to the charity, not into other people's back pockets. So yes, that is exactly why I say that they have finally done an actual bit of service that is good for the public. So on that note, I am going to go. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm doing my little jig. I'm getting excited for watching South Park later. So I will be back with you guys very soon, and I will be talking about the absolute destruction of Harry and Meghan's American dream. Back soon, guys. Bye.
If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.